What's up, everybody? Welcome to Counterpoint. So we got the Austin and Karmelo situation going on back in social media, and the hoo hum and the rip roar is going on. The hearings trying to see if they can get a new trial, and the judge being recused, and all kind of stuff. Different information coming up on the board's past that wasn't presented in the first trial. It's got everybody in an uproar. Blah 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 blah. Okay, that be what it may. Come to find out, looks like you know Metcalf was a bully, hit some girl, and I'm just allegedly, some reports that's out there. He punched some girl in the stomach. It looks like Carmelo, told some his girlfriend or whatever he wanted to stab somebody, lick the knife, blood, whatever with that. What I want, because this case can seem to be confusing, especially to a lot of Caucasian people who are watching the tenacity of how some certain blacks seem to come hard against the situation. Um, Matter of fact, I heard that when Metcalf's father had tried to to pray with the family, or at least greet the family, he's the one that lost a child. They told him to go away when the original trial was going on. But this is what I want to say to the non-black community about the black community, and I want to also speak to the black community who fall in this category. To the black community who fall in this category, who are gung-ho Carmelo, free Carmelo. Can we just be honest? That's all. I'm not telling you to change your opinion of what you believe. Okay? But the reason why people are scratching their head is because from the looks of what happened and the witnesses, it doesn't seem like a push or a shove by a peer should have warranted murder. It don't look that way. Unless times have changed, and I'm just being honest, this is just me. There ain't too many, and it could be this way on the other side. I'm just speaking from the black community. There ain't too many black teens or men who would say they afraid of a white man or even two white men. If you want to talk about his brother, whatever. Like, we know that ain't really true. We know that. And again, I ain't saying that the white men are scared of, I'm just saying I know. I've never heard in my life, even if the white boy was a better fighter, wrestler, whatever, I ain't never heard a black, when I was a teen, or a black man say scared, physically scared of him. I ain't never heard it. Can we be honest? Because in our dishonesty, we are confusing other people, and we don't have to. Say, counterpoint, what you talking about. Can we call a spade a spade? Can we call it what it is? Why do we want Carmelo to be free? Why? That's the question. Why? Is it because we think he was afraid? No, we don't. We're going to say that, but we don't believe that. Is it because we think, honestly, Metcalf could have taken him in a fight? No, we don't. We don't believe a white boy could beat a black guy. And there was other black dudes there. So if there was a situation where it was racial, where they was going to jump on a black dude because he was black, we know that normally the black guys. So let's get past that. Why do we want Karmelo to be free. If he had done it black on black to our child, would we want him to be free? We know the answer is no. If it's black on black to our child, to your son, 17, 18 years old, and on a push or a shove or a trip or a tackle, all these things that are non-life threatening, would we want the other person free? If it was black on black and it was our child, the answer is no. We would be saying the other child should learn how to fight and defend himself, and we would have came up with all kind of people don't fight no more. Learn how to take a punch. We would have came up with everything. But our baby in the grave over a push, black folk. No. Why then do we want Karmelo to be free? Because that's what's confusing everybody. We speak up, we so loud, we so bold, we'll protest, we'll carry banners, we'll march in the streets. We got everybody, celebrities all over. We got the Hebrew Israelites who they have the stuff they talking about, they twisting the Bible. We got them talking about it, walking around in their purple and gold. Why do we want Karmelo to be free? Answer that to the world. You ain't got to change your opinion. Just be honest. Since you won't, I will. The reason we want Karmelo to be free, I've said it before. Deep in our heart, we know that was messed up. But it's not messed up because who it happened against was Caucasian. We're going to bend the rules. If it's black on black and the same thing happened, we're going to say, now they should have figured that out. They should have just fought it out. Nobody had to lose a life over that. That's what we would have said. But because he happened to be Caucasian, and we want a win in the black community, we want to see Caucasian white folk suffer innocently because we feel, and in some cases have, that the system has been against us so egregiously that it's time that white folk feel the heat. That I'm talking from what those who think this way. It's time for white folks feel the heat that we've been feeling all this time. Y'all been taking us out innocently, and we're gonna name all the people that we can think of. George Floyd, Trayvon, which that was messed up. We're gonna name all the people. So subconsciously, we want Karmelo to be free so that we can get a W in our column and the white folks can take a L. That's what we really want. But we're messing up because we're trying to explain, well, he should have kept his hands to himself. And we know that even within our community, we big on pushing one another to get the party started. Get out my face. Man, don't be running up on me like that. We already know that. But in this situation now, we're going to act all feminine. What grown folk say such things? He should have kept his hand to himself. Who talks like that? Who talks like that in the black community? As aggressive as we are. NFL, NBA, gladiator sports, NFL, boxing, aggressive as we are. We used to this contact. We raise, for the most part, I would say some we raise our sons to be tough, be able to protect yourself, be able to take a hit and give a hit. That's how we raise our sons. But all of a sudden, now we're talking, he should have kept his hands to himself. That's fine. If that's your goofy opinion, and I'm talking to folks in my age group, 40 and up. If you was born after 82 and that's your goofy opinion, all the fights you've seen, all the fights you've been in, it don't matter if you was at a 4A high school or 1A high, it don't matter. You've seen it all. And you've seen that the dudes who was in those fights, unless something else happened in their life, they still alive today. And when y'all see them, you can laugh and joke about it. Remember them two brothers, they were crazy, they would knock folks out, blah, blah, blah. Now, all of a sudden, 2026, we're saying Metcalf should have kept his hands to himself. So, in essence, because he did not, and he pushed, he didn't choke him out. He didn't choke him out. Let's call it a hard push. Let's call it a push that knocked him back half of a football field. Let's say he pushed him so hard he blew him back 50 yards. We're saying because of a shove and a push and a crazy fear that came upon a young black man who normally don't have that kind of fear against any race because we feel that we're physically superior. That's what we say. We feel that we dominate. That's what we say. He deserved to lose his life. And in losing his life, his family deserved to be disrespected, and they the one that lost a son. Y'all BSing, tell the truth. We don't care about Metcalf family because they white. We don't want them to show up and pray with us and hold hands and sing and clap and call on the Lord because they white. And we want Karmelo free because he took out white. Tell the truth. And stop this silly confusion that people trying to figure out what's going on. I'm telling you what's going on. You're not going to make the situation make sense. Bring in a new trial, it still ain't going to make sense. You got too many witnesses, black and white. It don't matter. And the judge ain't going to be judging off of how we feel that we've been wrong since the beginning of time. So we feel we owe somebody to take one out. That ain't how he gonna judge. And that ain't how the jury's gonna judge it. So good luck in your wishful thinking. Tell the truth. This is why we want them free. 1 for us, 0 for them.